Welcome back to the Windy City Bears Network, where I'm your host, RC. Today, we're going to be going over what will the Bears do at 10? What are the possibilities? Do we stay there? Do we trade down? Do we pick best available player? Do we pick for need? I've been saying for months, we're going to pick the best available player. We're not going to reach at 10, and nor should you reach at 10. If you're doing that, you're not going to be a very successful organization. You have to pick somebody who, one, can make an immediate impact, especially at 10. Two, can play right away. You don't know if you pick a defensive end, defensive tackle, left tackle, they're probably not going to start. They're probably not going to play. Maybe they could rotate except for the left tackle but it makes a lot more sense to pick for need with the 39th and 41st pick in the second round instead of reaching. I was actually looking, has been against us drafting a running back at 10, saying, oh, it's a luxury pick. And to some extent, it is a luxury pick to some extent. But if you really look at percentage of players hitting in the first round, running back is the highest percentage. It's about 75% they hit. If you look at offensive linemen, they hit about 50%. So we're not going to reach for a player like Will Campbell at 10, who doesn't even fit the measurables with the short arms. Some people may say it's not a big deal, but really, if you break down his film, and I think he was a great college player, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't really extend. A lot of people are able to get to his chest, and that could be an issue in the NFL. That's why a lot of people see him as a guard, and I'm not picking him to be a guard at 10. So defensive ends, there's some guys with potential. I don't think any of those guys you can say are can't miss prospects. If you look at last year's draft, defensive ends, they were decent too. They dropped. I think the first one was picked 14th, then 17th. They weren't going in the top 10 because there was better players available. I definitely believe we're going to pick the best available player. And if that best available player is not there at 10, I don't think we reach. I think we try to find a trade partner and move down because that also makes a lot of sense. I do believe Ashton Gentry is our number one guy that they have on the board who could be available. And there's a big possibility he may not be there. He can go to the Raiders at 6. He can go to the Saints at 9. But if he's there at 10, he is definitely going to be a Chicago Bear. And if he's gone, and Warren from Penn State, the tight end's there, and I've already done a video talking about this. So this isn't breaking news, anything I'm trying to say, because I heard Ben Johnson speaking. I've already listened to his press conferences, and I already got the information I needed to already know that he wasn't going left tackle in the first round. He made it clear. I don't know if everybody knew he made it clear, but listen to him and Ryan Poles. They're very comfortable with what they have, at least for one more season. And if you look at Braxton Jones, and I did just do a video of Braxton Jones recently too, he has the measurables. He's 6'5". I want to say his arms are 35. In the video I broke down, he was ranked about 26th out of all tackles. So he's a little bit above average. He's young. He played just about as well as Wright did. And Wright is a top 10 pick. So everybody's saying, oh, the kid has upside. This kid's a 5th round pick. So everybody says, oh, let's replace him. He's been solid. And with a Pro Bowl, all pro left guard next to him in Tooney, I think he's going to be better. I don't believe we need to reach at 10 for a player that you could definitely miss. And if you look at the history of the Bears, when was the last time we drafted an offensive lineman in the first round that got a second contract? I mean, we missed on Gabe Carimi. We missed on Chris Williams. We missed on Colombo. I mean, I don't think we've hit on a offensive lineman since our Hall of Famer back in the 80s. And Kreutz got a second contract. I want to say Kreutz was a second or third round pick. But we haven't really hit on any first round picks. I would say Kyle Long, unfortunately, injuries. He did get a second contract. Unfortunately, he didn't really live up to it. But yeah, he was good. But other than that, we've missed more than we've hit. And like I said, if you look at the running backs, you look at Bijan Robinson, he's in top 5 rushing this year. You look at Gibbs, he's in top 5 rushing this year. And when you want to break down Ashton Gentry, I think he's just as good. I think he's better than Bijan. I think he's obviously a different running back than Gibbs. Gibbs, with his speed, I mean, you can do so much with him. You could do more with Gibbs, I believe, than you can with Ashton Gentry. But I don't know how much of a bell cow Gibbs can be compared to Ashton Gentry. And as far as Warren is concerned, Warren from Penn State, they put him at, Wildcat. They moved him all around. Ben Johnson likes those type of players. And if you look at how Detroit ran their offense last year, they ran a lot of 12 set, a lot of double tight end set, the most in the NFL. So who do we have behind Cole? I mean, we picked up that guy from the Dolphins, but he's just a guy who kind of knows Ben Johnson, maybe can help with the scheme, but I don't think he's going to have a big role. I definitely see us getting a tight end. We need to get another wide receiver, a running back. We definitely do need to add depth. We need another guard. We need another tackle for depth. The guards, depending on who's available in the second round, the guards look like they're a little bit deeper than the tackles. So if there's a tackle, though, that falls to the second round, to the 39th pick, absolutely grab them. But I don't see it at 10. Could we go corner? Could we go safety? I think they're going to go best available player, and I don't think they're going to reach. I know a lot of people probably say, oh, I don't want us to go corner at 10. Best player on the board could be a corner. Safety from Georgia is good. And we still don't know what we're going to do with Brisker, Obviously, he's in the last year of his contract. He's had concussion issues. Hopefully, he stays healthy. That when he plays, he's awesome. Our free safety, he's on his last year. So safety is still a position of need, depending on, I think we're pretty solid at corner, but if the best player is there and you can't move down, I wouldn't be mad if that's the position we drafted, but we need to do what's going to help Caleb, whether it's defense getting the ball back to him or a running back who can set the tone offensively and take a lot of pressure off of him. To me, and I've said it before and I say it again, Ashton Gentry is the only elite running back in this class. There's some very good backs in this class. They're not elite. I don't believe that they're top 10 guys in the NFL. They're good. Some are very good, but he can be great. My comp on him was LaDainian Tomlinson. They have similar running styles. LaDainian was a little bit bigger, but he also weighed less than Ashton. So this kid could be special, We haven't had a special running back since obviously Walter Payton. We've had some very good ones. Matt Forte, very good, A-Train was good for a couple of years. We've had a couple of guys who were good for a couple of years. But if we can get a guy who can come in and play for 5-7 years and be elite, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys look at Ezekiel Elliott and say that, oh, we shouldn't have picked him at 4. He came out the gates and he was a top 5, top 3 running back in the league. If we can do that with Gentry, all these people who say, oh, O-line, yes, we need to address that. But if this kid is what a lot of people think he is and he's there, everybody should be ecstatic. I'm going to try and leave a tag for the video for Braxton Jones if you guys want to check that out. Hit a like button, subscribe. I'm going to get more content out more frequently. But a lot of things people are saying, I say already. And I think you guys will see that through my videos and the more I put out. But thank you for listening. Bear down.